Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. So, we are here with another edition of Thrive Live, and I'm here with my teammates Beth and Ray, and happy to be here. Beth and Ray, we're going to talk a little bit about mentoring and professional development today, as that's a good place to dig in as we start to think about our careers and what we're doing and how we're developing post COVID or what we did during COVID. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that and how Thrive can help out companies with professional development and mentoring. So I don't know who wants to start out, Ray or Beth, but I'll turn it over to one of you.
Ray,
All right.
what do you want to say?
All right. Well, the first thing on professional development, and this was told to me by one of my managers early in my career, is really that development is really your responsibility. That you've got to take responsibility and focus on your development. The challenge of somebody doing it for you is just not going to happen. So you really have to be responsible. And over the last 12 to 15 months with COVID, I think we're starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Hopefully, it's not a train coming at us, but the goal is, this is really a time to start to think about your professional development and things you can start to do proactively to help yourself from a career perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, proactively is really important because in my time as a leader in HR, how many people would come to me and say, I want to develop, I want to get better. And I would say, what do you want to get better at? What do you want to do? And they'd be like, I don't know. You need to tell me. And I'm like, I can't really tell you. I don't know that. You've got to give me some information on what you want to do because I'm not inside your brain. I don't know what makes you tick. One of the things that I always think is important for companies to put together are mentoring programs. I think those are really cost-effective ways to help employees, and it really makes a difference for people to have a mentor internally into an organization, especially for people that are, starting to really come on in their career, and you want to give high potential people exposure, people that maybe need some exposure to some different skills that they don't really have, they can get from a mentor. So I always really like those programs. And I always really like having a mentor personally. And I think people, get more from a mentor that's very different than they are, that have skills and attributes and talents that are different than theirs. And so, I had a mentor when I was at Cisco, one of many, but one of my favorites was Carolyn Kennedy, and she was very different than me. And I really learned a lot from Caroline in terms of just her different style and the things that she was more equipped at doing than I was. And so we can help you structure programs. We can help you structure mentoring programs if you've never done it before. It can be challenging in terms of how do you set it up? How do you communicate it out? How do you pair people up? What are the tools and templates to make it effective? So Ray and I have put those processes together, and we can help you do that for your organization. So I really like that. And I think the other thing that's really important is obviously professional development in other spaces. And I think, Beth, you had a couple thoughts around that.
Yeah, I was mentioning to you guys in a personal conversation, I have some close friends who have taken this time during the pandemic and people working from home to develop themselves. And two of them have gotten their MBAs because they've had this time where they would normally be commuting. A normal commute from where I live in the suburbs is about an hour each way, right? So that's 2 hours out of the day that can be used to further your education. And a lot of companies do help with that. But even if they don't, I think doing it on your own and looking towards that is so important. Tell me your thoughts on looking for talent that either has completed further development or is in the process of doing that. Don't you think they
Yeah.
stand out a little more? They seem more driven. They're more focused. Tell me your thoughts, right?
Yeah, I mean, whenever we are interviewing people for roles, it's always good, and usually the best candidates are the candidates that, like Jason said, one, are self-aware of their strengths and of their weaknesses, and then that are also working to strengthen their weaknesses, to make them a better professional. So that self-awareness and doing things without being asked to do them, to improve themselves, is really, really critical. And that comes across in interviews. It comes across on resumes. Those are the things that as a professional are really, really important. The other thing that's really important too, is to build a development plan for yourself. And it doesn't have to be complicated. And the way that I've always done things around development is to focus on three things: education, experience, and exposure. And to build a development plan with those three focus areas. Um, and when I say education, education should be the smallest part of that development plan. Maybe, you know, 20% or 10% of your development plan should be on taking courses, because the reality is we'll take a course, and unless we apply that immediately,
Mhm.
it's not gonna take. It's not you're not
Yeah,
gonna remember.
true.
But if you work on a project and get the experience, or if you get exposure to individuals that do this kind of work on a regular basis,
Mhm.
that's where people really learn. And we'll be glad to provide you a template that we've used with some of our clients that really, makes an impact, and a personal development plan is really, really critical.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and it's called a gig economy for a reason, where people move from really gig to gig to gig, and the ability to move from gig to gig is that you have the skills to be able to do that. So it's through education. It's through working through exposure, where you have exposure to new people and to new ideas and to new experiences. And it's through experience, talking to somebody organizationally about, hey, can I help you with this project? Can I be on this, leadership team? Can I be on this committee? And so by continuing to get yourself all of those things, and doing that on a regular basis, that allows you to move from gig to gig, either internally in your own company, going from, different jobs or to different projects, or when you want to exit out of your company to go do different things. So that's why it's so important to stay so current and to be able to do these things in our gig economy now. I mean, you can't sit and be static and expect that some skills that you've had are going to last you 10, 15, 20 years. It doesn't work like that anymore. So you have to stay current and you have to stay relevant. And that's actually your responsibility. I mean, it's the responsibility of companies to be able to give those things to you and provide those to you, and give people the relevant opportunities so that you're excited and that you want to stay in your job. But it's also important for you to pursue those, so that you have a thriving, career, in your company, or whether you decide you want to leave because you don't like a company anymore, or you want to go somewhere that's, doing even better than the place you're at. So those are all really important things that you need to do as it comes to, furthering yourself and through development.
So I think the takeaway here, guys, is that I am ultimately in charge of my destiny, and I need to use the tools that my company provides me to help me along my path. And the companies could use Thrive HR Consulting along their path to further their employees in the
Yeah, we
long.
can we can help you look at that, and we can help talk to you about how you develop folks through experience, exposure, and education. That's a model that we have used successfully at many companies, including Cisco, including Polycom, including lots of other places that we've worked. It's a very tried and true method, and we can help you do that. We can help you set up mentoring opportunities for your employees. So we are able to do that and really help you create a really dynamic workforce inside your organization.
That's
Right.
exactly right, Jason. And the other thing too that's important is, you know, if you don't find the development inside your organization, don't stop looking. Go look for it outside your organization. If you cannot lead a team inside your organization, I guarantee you there are volunteer opportunities out there where you can lead a team. And I've done that where I haven't been able to do something inside, and I actually went outside and helped a nonprofit with a project. So those are the things that you've got to look at as an individual, as a professional, to improve your your marketability and your long-term career. So
You can do it. I led a dog sled team in Finland, so it's possible that
What?
anybody can do it.
Oh, we have to talk about that offline.
Kidding.
yeah,
Are you serious?
exactly.
Who thought I would hear that today?
Yeah, exactly.
When you're around me, it's always it's always a crapshoot what you're going to hear.
That's always something.
Uh,
Always something.
but
Say gig
but
again.
definitely,
Say gig
let
again.
us know. If we can help you with anything at all around professional development, mentoring programs. You can contact us at thrivehrconsulting.com. I'm Ray Ramirez. Jason.
You can reach me at jason@thrivehrconsulting.com, and Ray is at Ray, REY, at thrivehrconsulting.com, and we're here to help you out. So
That's right.
we look forward to being your partner.
All right. Thank you, guys. Thanks for the chat, and we will see you next week.
Sounds great.
Later.
All right.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.